Posterpalooza, and we're challenging students to explain their work in 10 seconds. Let's go!
Hello, my name is Andrea, and the summary of my work is just basically we found that younger male blackbirds are more likely to have more parasites than the older male blackbirds.
We looked at insect herbivory and damage in the Bennington herbarium and found that there was no conclusive evidence for year-over-year change. Is that 10 seconds? I don't know.
Hi, this is taking herbarium specimens of two invasive species, buckthorn and bittersweet, and mapping their movement throughout Massachusetts in the past 100 years. We can see for the bittersweet, it starts in Suffolk County and moves out west, and for buckthorn, it starts in the middle of the state where we have a lot of farms and then spreads out from there.
Collectors' bias in collecting herbarium specimens of fruiting plants. We were looking at if we can observe sort of larger sociological phenomena through looking at herbarium specimens, where they were collected, at what elevation, and at what stage of their fruiting or flowering.
We are looking at Dicentra cucularia's phenology since the 1800s and see that if it is driven by climate data. And can I start over? Using herbarium specimens, we're looking at the phenology of Dicentra cucularia since the 1800s.
Okay, an herbarium is basically a library of dried plants, and what we did is we looked at the Bennington College herbarium and we found every single tree specimen in the entire herbarium. We listed every single specimen with scientific name, common name, location, year collected, and yeah.
So herbarium specimens do not accurately depict the specimens in specific regions, especially here on campus. So we've been around to find these 5 different plants that can be used for medicinal purposes outside ourselves.
Okay, so we're looking at how to preserve fungal specimens for the Bennington College herbarium.
We looked at the Charles Frost collection at the UVM herbarium and compared it to our own.
We're proposing a small college herbaria consortium to promote small collections with liberal arts colleges, as herbaria are a foundation of liberal arts education.
So we wanted to know if violets are keeping pace with overstory plants in terms of leafing out, and we found out that violets are actually flowering later in warmer springs, which is not what we expected.
Okay.
Are we going? Okay, we couldn't come to a conclusion whether spring wildflowers have shifted earlier in the year because there's not enough herbarium specimens. Is that good?
And how do they compare to the pollinator cycles? And
we don't know.
The emerald ash borer, an invasive bug from Asia, is wiping out all the ash trees in Vermont. Currently, we're treating a lot of them, but there needs to be a lot more herbarium collections for the data to be complete.
We were looking at climate-driven shifts in annual sugar maple leaf out time.
And they're leafing out 2.5 days to degrees Celsius earlier.
Thank you.